A sunny March day in McKinney. It doesn't get more picturesque than this. In the last few years, we've seen more and more people moving to North Texas to get their slice of this American dream. That has home values going up, nearly 10% across DFW in the last year. Great news if you're looking to sell. Another story if you want to stay. Tuesday morning, about 50 homeowners boarded this bus to Austin to talk to lawmakers. They come from all over North Texas and say rising home values and property taxes are getting out of control.
I'm on this crusade to get property taxes adjusted where there's not some cotton picking, chicken plucking high.
As the value of their homes go up, so do the property taxes they owe. For some, it's so bad they may have to move.
It's becoming such a tax burden, they have to scrimp and save to keep up with their taxes.
Some lawmakers say Senate Bill 2 is the answer, which would force cities to go to a public vote if they want to set property taxes above 4%. Right now, the benchmark is 8%.
It keeps me up at night trying to pay my taxes.
On this bus, no one claims to have all the answers, but they're willing to travel to the Capitol to help lawmakers figure them out. In McKinney, Hannah Davis, Channel 8 News.
Out of your busy schedules to spend the day in Austin. I really appreciate it. We really need to have you guys here. There are tons of taxpayer-funded lobbyists, tons of people that rely on government for making their living, who are trying to say keep taxes high, and you're here to say get them low, and I appreciate you for it. This is important stuff. It is going to be a long day. I really appreciate you being here. I will warn you that the Democrats have been pretty hard on some of the anti-tax testimony, so be prepared. We've got a little bit of a schedule for you, and Sable and Lonnie will explain that to you. But this is really important. I've got some Republican senators who I think will vote for this bill, but they're not sure how strong they want the bill to be. And your job today is to convince them that the people want to make this a strong bill that slows the rate of growth of government. We got to slow the rate of growth of government. In 1900, 8% of U.S. GDP went to government. It's now 42%. We are living in a country that is losing its freedom, not to a foreign power, but to government itself. Government should work for the people. Government should be of the people, by the people, for the people. We should not work for government, and we're headed that way. And today is an important step towards slowing the fastest growing part of our government, which is local government. They are growing too fast, they're spending too much. You guys being here today is going to send a signal to every member of the Texas Senate that what the people want, not the elected officials, not their lobbyists, not the employees of government, what the people want is lower taxes. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. You're awesome.
Yay, Senator Taylor.
Thank you.
I'm here today to help push forth this Senate Bill 2. The property tax situation is pretty much a disaster. The taxes are extremely high, and no governing entity seems to have any clue about reining them in a little bit. And Senator Taylor and the other senators' bill is a step in that direction. It has some really good parts of it, and we're here to support him.
I'm here because Senator Van Taylor asked me and others from our county to come and support Senate Bill 2.
I'm here today for Senate Bill 2 to discuss tax relief and the overburdening of certain tax entities on individuals in Collin County and across the state.
When we moved to Texas from Florida in 1978, Texas was ranked number 48 in the tax burden placed on its citizens. Today, Texas is ranked number 4 in the tax burden it's placing on real estate owners.
I'm here on behalf of my mother, who is about to have to sell her home because her property taxes are so high. And she just turned 80, and I just think that's a real shame that she has to give up her property at 80 years old.
Well, I'm here to express my view, my concern regarding property tax in Allen.
I'm here to testify in support of SB2, which is a property tax rate control bill. That's the best way I would describe it. And because the rate of which our taxes have grown has just become unsustainable for anybody of any age who is planning to retire and try to retire to their home.
The problem with taxes is that they just keep coming from everywhere you turn.
My city taxes have gone up about 40%, and my school taxes have gone up about 20%. So I'm paying considerably more today than I did when I moved to Collin County. And I expect over the lifetime, were I to stay in my current home, I'd probably spend somewhere in the neighborhood of $140,000 on average on taxes alone.
I mean, today businesses have a franchise tax, they have licensing taxes, they have professional taxes, they have personal property taxes, they have real estate taxes.
My mother's, I just checked hers for this hearing. She bought her house in 10, and as of this 2016, first of all, her appraised value on her home went up 52%. That's ridiculous. And her taxes have gone up several $1,000s. And even at her age, they're still going up. And she got her tax bill in the mail, and at lunch on her birthday, she said, "I can't believe this. I have to sell my home." And that was just so tragic to me.
We're property owners. We have a postage stamp size lot in Plano of about 1/3 of an acre. And our assessed value in the last year went up $42,892, which is 12%. And if you think about that, our taxes also went up proportionally. And so we're looking at 12%, which is a little bit higher than I think that it should be.
That was really concern. It was a great concern because my husband is a public servant. He has not had any raise at his job for over a decade. Instead, there had been cuts on his salary. And I operate a small business from home, a home-based business, and I'm just wondering if this continues, what are we going to do? Where are we going to get the money to pay on our property?
Well, we've had to dip into our retirement to pay for the taxes.
I don't think property taxes should go up with appraisals because I don't think the state needs to raise additional monies.
We need to take a look, a very hard look at alternate ways of generating sales tax revenue.
That's the effective tax rate. We would like to see everybody limited to the effective tax rate. That's keeps it the same for the future years as it was past years. There's also an element in there to take care of growth, so you don't. It's not like they're constant. It's just that the taxing entity is still going to get more dollars because you've got growth, and all the increases, all the new construction will add on to the amount they're getting. It will keep the taxes for current taxpayers constant as it goes from year to year.
The last couple of years, because we've had such great appreciation and value here, suddenly taxes really becomes an issue. And I cannot tell you how many times first-time home buyers are struck from being able to buy a home because of property taxes. And I can't tell you how many older people are forced to move from their homes because the property taxes are going to eat their lunch as far as what little income they have to retire on. So I think it's a very big issue.
From our nest egg, the interest rate is only 1 or 2%, which we had saved, hoping will help us make a good living along with the Social Security. And the inflation has been only less than 2%, which is fine. But at the same time, our property values are going up. We're not really getting any extra income from our savings from the interest, but our property tax is going up 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7% over this time.
We as the citizens, we are the taxpayers. We're the ones that make the decisions on whether additional taxes should be levied or not. If you're going to consider raising taxes, we should be the ones to approve that. Perhaps, given the right circumstances, we might see that as a legitimate need, but it is ours to determine that.
it's not fair to the Texas citizenry to actually be burdened with this amount of taxation.
We really appreciate what Senator Van Taylor has done for us in accommodating us with a bus and refreshments on the way down.
It was awesome. It was great. We were all on there together with a common goal to unite our citizens to stop the increase of our government taxes and our government from growing so big.
I thought that was very innovative of him. We had a really good time on the trip down here. We even had lunch on the bus. Who would have thunk, right? And had a lot of good discussions. The personnel were very kind and polite to us, very informative. And even the bus driver was a good driver. He drove better than I could have. It was a very good idea.
I thought it was great that Senator Van Taylor, got us a bus where we could come down here. I've been up here before with a group of people that I drove, and we left about 5 in the morning. This was really nice to be able to leave when we did. We were taken care of on the bus. It was a very comfortable ride. I'm just excited to know that I can spend my time up here on a worthwhile cause.
I think Senator Taylor, when he invited me to come down and speak, as we were talking the other night, he told me, he says, this is a terrible thing. And I wrote him back, I said, this is truly terrible because the citizenry of Texas can't afford more tax burden.
I believe Senator Taylor is at the forefront of the property tax debate. He is a great example in Collin County, which is the fastest growing county in Texas, where we've been able to reduce the tax rate while maintaining the budget and in fact increasing the budget for needs for the Collin County.
Senator Taylor has been a fantastic leader in pursuing the idea that property taxes are too high, the acceleration of the amount that people are paying is way too high, and that taxes in general are too high. He is a market-oriented tax foe.
I'm just thrilled that he's my senator. I think he's awesome. I think he's going to go far. He's working for the people, which I love. He made a statement on the bus about how government now is taking 42% of all our incomes, and all they're doing is growing themselves, and he's for limited government, and I really appreciate that. We don't need more government. We the people have the power, and so I feel like he's a people's senator.
We believe Senator Taylor is a fine example of a growing young man who looks after his constituents. His military background instills discipline in him. He's very, very object-oriented, and he always looks forward to the comments of his constituents and values participating in events that his constituents put together.
I think Senator Taylor's been consistent on property taxes and the adjustment of tax rates to ensure that the taxpayers keep as much of their own earned income as possible, but yet continue to meet the functions of government in a way that's conservative and consistent. And I do appreciate that very much.
I would encourage taxpayers today to pay very, very close attention to their tax bills, to be aware of what's happening in their local areas, and not to be afraid to contact their local representatives as well as their state representatives. Our political politicians, are here to serve us. In most cases, those individuals really want to hear from you.